Hey, beloveds, it's KamalaDevi, and it's the new moon. I love to send out these various lunation transmissions of what's alive in my heart during the full moon, as we self-reflect and harvest, and the new moon, which is a good time to plant new seeds. And what's most alive for me right now is accountability. And it's a difficult conversation to have. There's a way that so much of the sacred sexual shamanism that I'm doing in the world is like has its appeal, its glamour, it's like juicy conversations, and accountability, although not outwardly sexy, it in the depth structures of what it's about, which is sensitivity and integrity and self-responsibility, like those qualities are deeply, sexy, but it's not easy to talk about, not easy to like address the complexity of the conversation. And so I want to just share a little bit about the process that I've been in and start a conversation, because it's a process that is long game and deserves more, more engagement over time. I mean, it's certainly something I'm dedicating my life force energy to. The last 6 months, I've been working with a dedicated group within ISTA. There's like a committed committee that are developing an accountability program. And what that means is really it's like an internal review, peer gaze, checks and balances, because for those of you who know, the International School of Temple Arts is really global, worldwide, really powerful, really amazing teachings. And as a mystery school, as it's grown in power, it's grown in its magnetism and its impact on people. And with, great power comes great responsibility. And so this is bringing more responsibility, bringing more consciousness, bringing more conversation about the shadow of power into the world. And it's been an ongoing conversation. The School of Temple Arts has gotten a lot of attention in media and controversy and social media, online campaigns, and whether that's coming from the outside world or the inside, the internal power struggles and the internal process of like, hey, we're seeing where we don't want to replicate patterns of corruption. People get too much power, and we see that all around us in our politics, and there's corruption that happens. And so what do we do, as a community, as a tribe that practices shadow stalking? How do we actually up-level our game to not only stalk the power of sex, which is, what a lot of people think, like, whoa, there's a lot of sex, power, money in ISTA that's being exchanged, and how to actually, do that, wield that responsibly. And so, review of how both sex and money are being used. But I think at the core of this accountability program is what it actually means to, when we gain power, to use it on behalf of the whole ecology, so that it doesn't become, power for personal power, the sake of someone's, ego attachment. And that's a journey, because we're all human. Like as leaders, as teachers, as healers, we can have the prayer to do the best that we can for people, but we mess up, we misstep, we hurt people, and conflict is really central to community and growth and personal growth. And it's like, how do we learn from that conflict? How do we listen? And how do we turn it into a breakthrough for everyone? And so these are some of the core questions that are alive in my heart. And, another question is, how do we do this in a new way? Because as you may or may not have heard, there have been various accountability programs or post Me Too, in our culture. People are like, we want to see rehabilitation. We want to see, transformative justice. And there's various different beautiful models, and some of them work and some of them don't. And we're really looking at what's a new paradigm, what's a new model that's, holistic and includes multiple perspectives. So it's deep, complex issues that requires a lot of consciousness, a lot of nuanced research of, past, not just theory, but practice, and then how to put that into practice this coming month. So after all this work with this committee, we're excited to be launching ISTA's accountability program. We'll be transparently posting, here's an overview of the program so that we can get wider community feedback. And we've already started internal process. And I personally am looking for collaboration. I'll be talking to some of our peers, our community peers that have done accountability programs. Maybe I'll make some videos and share more. So I'm kind of coming out with like, this is a passion project. This really matters to me. And it is tender. It is complex. People have felt hurt and not heard and not listened to in this process. And there's a lot of, reclaiming, owning, looking into how to be more responsible, so that when we gain power and we have it, we're actually giving people back their power in a way that's not victim shaming or blaming, but actually empowering them, to their voice and to their perspective, and how to really hold for alternate and multiple perspectives. So there's a lot to this conversation. I just wanted to come out and let you know that if this is what I'm working on. If it's something that resonates for you, keep your eyes open for future videos and the plan itself as it gets posted. Yeah, and then I'm just curious, what's new in your world? What are you creating in this new moon? I'm a Taurus, so thank you for all the birthday wishes. It's such a sensual, romantic time because of Venus, and springtime is always super juicy. And so I look forward to seeing what you create, what we're creating this season. Okay, blessings.